Hi, Manmohan. How are you? How's your
And the
weekend?
weekend is going busy as
Yeah.
usual.
So, were you busy doing something or were you busy thinking about something?
Basically, I was busy meeting a new client today,
Okay.
and this new client has very specific set of requirements and has a very small budget.
Okay.
So, is his audience very small? The answer is yes. He want to target a very niche segment,
Okay.
but uh, they also want to get certain traction from the budget. Now,
Okay.
if you go with very small budgets, then you are
Mhm.
not able to reach certain critical mass in digital ads, right? I went to them and I talked to them what was in their mind, and they said, we don't want to target India, we want to target 20 cities.
Mm-hmm.
I asked them about 20 cities. Now,
Mm-hmm.
these 20 cities are almost all the metro cities, so which means that they have 20-25% of the population of the country at least, which is a huge number in India. I said, your budget is too small. You
Okay.
can't target 20 cities, right?
Yeah.
And your customers live in certain pin codes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your target customers. So there is something called 80 to 20 rule, like in work, 20% people do 80% of the job.
Yeah.
Similarly, most probably it's like 20% of the pin codes in these cities are getting them 90% of the business.
True.
So why can't we target our money to only these certain 15 to 20% pin codes, use our money more efficiently, and then uh, use your customized geo targeting to make sure that you get more relevant leads also. It
Yeah.
also saves your sales team from exhaustion from irrelevant leads,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
It's actually very fascinating to see how marketing has shifted, from how it was a traditional static campaign and now it's so dynamic and specifically so much personalized. So much personalized. So I think digital marketing space in 2024 is really interesting. It's fascinating. It's on some next level. So firstly, I think I would want to understand as a digital marketer that where do you see 2024 digital marketing at? I mean, comparing it to what it was in 2023 and
Mhm.
also comparing it what it was like 5 years back. So how do you see 2024 digital marketing space?
Yes. Coming back to 2024, I think it's totally different in terms of user experience, and it's also completely new paradigm when it comes to marketing strategies that we were using in the past. Like when we started that in, let's suppose in 1990, what will happen? You will have one set of 20 to 30-second commercial
Yeah, it was
broadcast to.
advertisement based. Yeah, yeah,
Now, when internet came, democracy also came in advertising, which means that even a small player with a good content can reach to millions of people with a smaller budget, right?
yes,
So typically, when you are running ads on TV, you can get 10x of impressions. But like suppose you are running ads for shaving cream. Now, shaving cream is mostly relevant for men
yeah.
between the age of 25 to 60,
Hmm.
right? Because even now there's a fashion of beards as well. So most probably below 25 audience is not a target. Actually, today men start shaving when they once they encounter a gray hair in their beard,
Mhm.
right?
So actually,
So
also back in 1990s, the only game was to have a particular slot in your favorite television show, or maybe just get 1 minute of time, maybe when Ramayan was playing, and the whole country was sitting. So that was the game. If you can have that particular 1 minute of slot, and your commercial is there, your marketing is done. But
mm,
now, I mean, with so many brands coming up, so
mm,
many people spending so much of time on internet through different channels, companies, the platforms, their companies have a lot of avenues to advertise themselves, and hence the
right,
digital marketing space has become really large. It has
right,
become really large, and I think when you have so much of space, when you have so much of data, so much of content, you need to have your target done properly. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of, like you mentioned, it's a waste of money, and that's what your company, I mean, the client that you were thinking about was trying to do, right? They knew
You
that.
pointed out something really beautiful here. One thing that the shifting of budgets from the
Yes,
traditional sources to digital. I have two examples that like. They always come in my mind.
sure.
First example is a Nifty 50 company. When I was working in my last agency, I was working for them.
Okay.
And this company is like one of the biggest companies in India
Mhm.
and all. And they spend hundreds of crores in advertising.
Okay.
Just 5 years back,
Mhm.
digital was there 3 to 4% of that budget.
Okay.
3 to 4%, and now it's almost 35%.
Wow, what a
It's
shift.
10x shift.
It's 10x.
And the amount is number of hundreds of crores that are going to the digital platforms. And these digital platforms are Google, Meta,
Hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, right? So they are reaching to using all the new media platforms. And just in 5 years, the shift
Yeah,
has.
yeah. And also, I think, Manmohan, I would also like to bring this point that, when there was a lot of commercial related marketing, it was more for a B2C company to advertise themselves and put itself in front of everybody. Now, given that, people of different businesses are also spending time on internet, there's a lot of space for B2B companies to advertise. So,
Right.
which was not very common back then. It was more like word of mouth, and if you know this company, you will tie up with them. If you know somebody from that company, you will know about the company. Otherwise, you might not.
In like in 2022 or mid of 2023, if you are a B2, if you are, like suppose you are an agency, right?
Yeah.
You are a marketing agency and you want to generate leads for yourself. You will run targeted campaigns on LinkedIn and you will send emails, you will show your ads to these people, and you will hope that some of these people will fill the lead form, and then
Mhm.
you will try to, your salesperson will try to call them, they will text them and see if they are relevant, and
Yeah.
then you know hope for an answer, and then conversation proceeds from there.
Yes.
Now it has changed completely, right?
Mm.
Especially something like what I'm trying to do with certain automation tools, integrating with AI. The same journey can be shorter, more efficient, and multiple platforms. I use IG for B2B businesses
Okay.
more than LinkedIn.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
which
That's.
is which
Mhm.
is which is very interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
you will say that okay, means why you are using IG when I can do pinpoint targeting on LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
First, first of all, while you can't do pinpoint targeting on LinkedIn, you can still target people via their profession and certain industries in
Mhm.
IG as well, and Facebook as well, because as the trend can be observed in the
Mhm.
metro cities, users spend 2 to 2.5 hours on Instagram. It's a
Yeah. Yeah.
big time, or YouTube. The problem with the Google is that uh, their targeting is not so pinpointed at this point of time, which may become pinpointed whenever the next update in Google Ads will come. So the idea that don't limit yourself to LinkedIn, because if they are going to charge you 1,000 rupees CPM,
Hmm.
every 1,000 rupees, and compared to, like suppose if you go back and look at Meta, where your CPM is 120 rupees. So even if you are having, like suppose, a 50% of the access audience,
Mhm.
probably you are paying actual CPM of 200 rupees.
Yeah.
I accept that uh, like certain percentage of your CPM is going to irrelevant people. But
Mhm.
your effective CPM is 240 rupees compared to 1,000 rupees CPM on LinkedIn.
Exactly.
So in the same budget, you can reach 4x number of people,
Yeah.
right? So it can be a good strategy compared to what we were doing earlier. And then the lookalike audiences are more powerful than ever,
Yes.
because now Meta is not giving you that many options for interest. So, like suppose if you try in 2022, you will see five different options for interest. Like you can probably target fruit vendors, something like that. But now your audience are much more
Yeah.
broad in Meta, which is a big problem because if let's suppose am a I am a farm, right? I have couple of farms and I want to target fruit vendors across Delhi NCR.
Mhm.
Now, previously that audience could have been 5,000, 10,000, maximum
Yes.
10,000. So probably I will just spend 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees in a month, and I will get.
Hmm.
So to compensate that, they have used lookalikes.
Yes.
So while professional targeting for professionals have improved on Instagram or Meta platforms, for not so organized sector, the targeting has deteriorated, become much more widespread.
And also,
Mm.
I think it is, when you're talking about the digital space and the digital marketing space in 2024, do you see the evolution in social media usage? Do you see the quality of usage differently, or where do you see more difference? Do you see that people have started using it more, or people have started using it more efficiently?
You to say social media is growing, and
Hmm.
in India, the user base will grow. There is no
Because
doubt.
we are the largest populous country, so
And
definitely,
the
yeah,
penetration is still 60%. So we have 40% more scope
yeah,
because
the
if
penetration.
you see the developed country is around 95%.
Hmm.
So we have 40, 45 crores, 50 crores more people to add.
Still left, yeah, we are still, yeah,
On the
agreed.
social media, there was a report from one of the top government organizations on
Hmm.
the usage of phones. So now almost 80% people have access of the mobile internet. So
Wow,
this number is going to increase very fast, very soon, right?
very soon, very soon. I think in last 10 years only it has become 10x.
Right.
I don't, yeah, so
Now, while the base will grow, I feel the time spent on social media might go down a little bit. Why?
hmm.
First of all, the mental health concerns that people are feeling in, especially people in cities who are using social media for a very long time. Now,
There might be some saturation at their stage, like, because
right.
we've already used it so much that there might come a saturation point. Agreed.
Now means there will be some kind of social detox
Yes.
or social media detox.
That those social detox will also be on the internet. Like maybe we'll go on an
No,
app and socially detox ourselves. Will that be so?
some people can just start just do gaming, which is another kind of social interaction, but it's not social media, right?
Yeah.
So people do that if they want to, lose it as a habit. Because today, what happens? Almost half of the people, when they wake up, they open their phone and check how many likes they have received on their last post,
Yes.
which is probably not the case with, let's say, with me now, but even I used to do that. So
Yes.
2010, I created a Twitter account,
Okay.
and it was Twitter was new at that point.
In fact, I would like to, sorry to interrupt. I would want to understand, when did you have your first social media? I mean, how did it grow on you? Then I think you can come on your Twitter story.
Yeah,
When did you first have your account? Did you have it on Orkut, or was first Facebook your first?
everybody in India has their first account on Orkut,
I think
right? At
everybody,
least not everybody, but
everybody,
the
yeah.
pioneers. And
Yes.
actually, we are the pioneer generation of internet in
Yes, the
India.
millennials will definitely have. Or I want to sound, you give all the prompts and it's giving me a caption, which is very personalized to me. So I think this was the game I was already doing, and now this game is already being provided to me and to many others, which was very personal to me, but now it's for everybody. So do you see that when everybody is using internet, when everybody has the same space, because it's democracy, as you already mentioned,
Mhm. Mhm.
how are brands going to differentiate themselves? How are users, how are they going to penetrate in the brains? How are they going to penetrate into the market and demarcate that, okay, this is my user and I want to target it? How do you see that?
Right. So this is another elephant in the room, right?
I agree.
So, and people are trying to find answer of this question every day and night. There are two things which are very important. The first thing is that reaching out to more people.
Mm-hmm.
Second, improving the brand recall. So there
Okay.
is something called TOMER, top of the mind recall.
Top of mind recall.
And all the brands are fighting for that space.
Agreed. Agreed.
Now, if you can't reach to people, then means you will never be remembered. So first and foremost is you have to learn how to reach more people. And the
Agreed.
second part is once you reach the people, you reach in a way that they remember you in some kind of an positive experience, right?
Yes.
You cannot means you cannot be a brand that people remember for hurting their certain sentiments, right? It
Hmm.
might work in a short term, means, and this is the kind of some uh, stuff that agencies do, and they try to console their brand custodians. Oh, it's okay, it's not a big deal, okay. But
For long run, it's not helpful.
Bud Light was a brand of young and outgoing men who used to like beer, right?
Okay. Okay.
Now these are typically Republican, voting bloc,
Okay. Okay.
and they hate. I will say definitely means what they call, which I am not saying, what
Hmm.
they call trans propaganda.
Okay.
So the idea is that when you use trans model instead of female models, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what somehow becomes a bad experience for them. Now, if that is not your primary customer base, then you can use that and probably get away with it, right? But
Yeah.
if that is exactly your customer base, then you will face the same thing that happened with Bud Light. In 6 months, their sales dropped to 70 to 80%, and the company like they had to shut down operations at certain cities. They had to fire people,
Mm-hmm.
or the CEO did. They went ahead with another commercial
Mm-hmm.
and content for, let's say, Valenciaga, right? So
Yeah.
Valenciaga is a kids clothing brand,
Yeah.
but you cannot apply the same thing in, let's say, Mercedes or Ferrari, right?
Yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's a totally different. It's uh, 40 plus males who are your primary target audience,
Yeah.
right?
In fact, this is what happened to Nescafe also. Nescafe was a big brand in countries which was already consuming coffee from a very long time in USA and
Mhm.
all. But when they entered Japan, they could not, make a mark because people are so used to tea that they could not identify what is coffee. It took them 20 years because they made coffee chocolates for kids. ताकि so that they start getting used to those coffee chocolates
Brilliant.
so that it becomes a brand after 20 years. And it took Nescafe. I still think and I still get goosebumps like who came up with this idea, and how everything changed for Nescafe. And now every country is going for coffee. It took them a long time, but that was their idea. Brands need to be the part of people. They cannot acquire your brain any day, right? What do you think is more important, reaching or recalling? Which will create more impact, or they both are equally important at different stages? One of the companies which was initially spending 3 to 4% in digital marketing like 5 years back, and now they're spending close to 30 to 40%. I mean, how do you think brands have come up to this point? I mean, digital marketing has become so much big that companies have come, like, started spending 10 times more. So
Right.
how do you think they have come here?
So first is the scope of digital marketing itself.
Yes.
That the ROI you get from digital marketing is typically higher than your TV ads. The
Agreed.
second thing is that you can always measure it. So from your newspaper ad, you have no idea what's happening, right? So in digital, everybody knows that here you can use your tracking. You can measure every bit of money spent and every bit of your revenue generated. Everything is being done in real time. If you are doing lead generation,
Yeah.
then you have your CRM, which is also calculating your revenue. So total ad spend versus total revenue, that will give you ROI of the campaign.
Yeah.
So I had one more case study in US.
Okay.
And there was a California brand. Now
Mm-hmm.
they used to spend 30 to 35 in digital,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a mattress brand,
Okay.
mattress furniture brand.
Okay.
And they're based only in California. They have 47 stores,
Okay.
42 at that time. Now they
Okay.
have
Okay.
47, they have 4 5 more stores.
Okay.
So they have initially had 30% in digital and
Mhm.
70% in TV, radio, print.
Okay.
Print went to zero first, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
When we got the mandate, print was already zero. It was TV, it was radio, and revenue. So last year,
Mm-hmm.
we doubled their ROI from digital. They were getting around 4.5, and last year their ROI was 8x,
Oh my God.
right? So just at that point, after seeing these numbers, they increased their budget in November and December significantly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this year, they are going to spend $3.7 million
Mm-hmm.
in digital, which is almost 53-54% of their budget. So
Mm-hmm.
now digital have taken over the TV,
Yeah.
and it's a well-known brand. So
But also, I have a point here, Manmohan, that digital ad space is more for those companies which are targeting people from the age group of like 1 year old to maybe 40, 50-year old. I
mhm,
don't see traditional companies still going for advertisement on digital space which wants to target people of 50-year-old or 60 years old because they are still not digitally present somewhere. I don't have my father is on WhatsApp, but my father is not on Instagram,
easy
right?
not on YouTube.
For digital, but I see them digitally as well. I see them digitally as well, though I understand they want to target everybody, but maybe they are more for people of that age group. So I think brands are getting creative also in terms of advertising themselves. They want to they want to keep eggs in all the basket.
And just the brand I was talking about few minutes back,
Huh.
they were very interesting consumer behavior.
Okay.
So we try to drive revenue into which first is of course the online purchase on the website. Second is store visits. So they see our ad, they visit
Mhm.
the store, and then they buy something. Then
Yes.
we are able to track everything because we have connected CRM with our ads, and then we are able to track our ROI as well. So, which is actually missing in many of the campaigns I see in India. Like
Mm.
people don't do it simply. Like the retail guys don't know like what is their ROI. They are just pushing for such impressions.
Mm.
Okay. So typical difference in a 40 plus and 40 minus users behavior is something like this. The user who is below 45, they are more prone to buy online.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
The
Hmm.
users who are above 45,
They still
they
go
will
to
see
traditional
the
shops.
ads.
Hmm.
They will see the ads. They will even add product to the cart. But when it comes to purchasing, they will go to the store and get their mattress themselves.
Hmm. So I
Nice
think
cycle.
it's the whole cycle that maybe we discussed about the coffee thing that we have, because they have not grown up like this, so they cannot right now take that quick action. Ki, okay, now we are going to shop online. But the current generation who is
They
20,
are still consuming the ads
yes, they are.
because
They
we
are.
are targeting them, and that
Yes.
is resulting in revenue as well. So
Yes.
you might think, okay, and the second part is that audience is refined. The people who are above 50 and they are active on internet, most probably they have some, they are definitely not in the bottom 50%,
Definitely.
right?
Definitely.
So
Hmm.
they understand at least some level of technology. And when I'm saying that they are on the internet, I am not saying that they just watch videos on YouTube. They
Yeah.
have an active Instagram account, which means they know how to post on the internet, and which is only people who are either tech savvy or they have enough resources to and time to understand how internet works. So these people are actually much more refined audience, and I have seen always seen better ROI if you target these people for these type of store visit campaigns and not for e-commerce. I'm giving you away a big secret.
Yes, I think that was a very valid point. Do you also see that, when it comes to digital marketing, there's going to be a lot of influencer marketing into the picture? Do you see it that it is going to grow effectively, or do you see that it's going to, come at a saturation space and, where everybody is their own brand now? So do you see that influencer marketing is going to grow? And do you see that AI is going to disrupt it in a way?
Yes. So
I think it
in
was a very easy answer. Yes, it was. It is going to.
right. So influencer marketing is not even close to its full potential.
Mhm.
Since here comes the crypto as well, right?
Yeah.
So there was a time when crypto boom was happening,
Yeah.
especially post-COVID period, 2000s, right?
Hmm.
And Bitcoin was hitting 100,000. Then all the new coins came, but most of these coins went worthless.
Yeah.
But I have heard certain people talk about it, especially I've heard from Gary Vee,
Hmm.
and which makes complete sense that you use different artists or all these different creators as their content as a currency, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And you keep that content slash currency in a certain blockchain, right? And for each blockchain will have certain worth, and then these values can be like the this content can be bought by the x number of people, like.
Hmm.
So all these x number of people will have some ownership of it. Somebody will have 5%, 1%, 2%, 3%, right? So all these owners now will be able to trade it like in a stock market, right?
Okay. Okay.
So that will be the next phase of influencer marketing, right?
Yeah.
That there is some content,
Hmm.
but that content is not available to all. It's on a blockchain. Some people have bought it and now they're trading it, but
Yeah.
it's only on the blockchain. So people who have key to the blockchain, only they can access it. This will be much more exclusive and safe content.
And I think, yeah, it will be safe, but it will be very expensive. Do you think that it will come at a higher cost?
No, so it will not work for, let's say, for me or you or small
Hmm.
artists.
Hmm.
It will be valid for
Big
only
business.
big artists. Or let's say if UFC is doing some event, right?
Hmm.
Or let's say IPL is doing some event,
Hmm.
right? Or like suppose I don't know who is the biggest star means today, Salman Khan or whoever it is.
Yeah, yeah, Virat Kohli. Virat
Right.
Kohli, big
So
brand.
Virat Kohli, right? So
Yeah.
Virat Kohli and Anushka are posting some video on the internet, but the only people who can access it are the people who have
Hmm.
access of the blockchain. But there will be many, right?
Hmm. This cycle is just reminding me of the fact that how you started with, like, when it was traditional marketing, it was more about who can buy the slot. We came to a position where, everybody is in a democratic space and everybody has access to everything, the ad space of Google ads, and then coming back to, maybe we can go in a space where, which will become more exclusive again, which will hamper the whole democratic system. So I mean, it's interesting to see that, how things can change. It's very interesting.
And and you mentioned, right, democratic system. What is the biggest problem? It's not like that all that means news you see today that is written in truth, right? You
Yeah.
will never watch. But today there are people who are ready to dig deeper and actually expose the news channels or whatever it is. And that's how this. So if you have heard of Twitter files, right? You
Yeah.
know that how FBI and certain powerful people collaborated with Twitter 1.0. Today
Yeah.
we have Twitter 2.0 according. So Twitter 1.0, and they make sure that certain voices are never heard or certain voices are truncated, minimized, and shot down,
Yeah.
right? So freedom and absolute freedom is, however, easy to achieve from here, but also easy to quash. Means if the platform decides to quash your freedom, right? If they decide to ban your YouTube channel tomorrow, you can't do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can just keep on writing emails,
I mean, that's what happened to TikTok in India.
right?
Yeah, that's what happened to TikTok. Also, Manmohan, I think I'm very interested to understand your point of view also on this, because I have a certain point of view on this, that
Mm.
there's so much negativity right now around AI. When people talk about AI, people are like, okay, companies are excited, I understand, but people in general, people who are at home, who are thinking that, my job might go away, if everything gets or generated by AI, then what am I going to do? You see that AI will take the space as faster, or do you see that it might get delayed because there's so much of negativity? First, we need to clear off those thoughts, and then the AI will creep in.
Excellent question. So, answer to this question is also sadly yes. There will be people who will lose their jobs, and
Yes.
there will be people who will get new jobs. But
Yeah.
the problem is, we really need somebody creative enough and smart enough
To adapt to it.
to no, no, to utilize all these people who are ready to learn AI and
Hmm.
then utilize it and take that group of people to the next level, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And to form that mega company,
Hmm.
the first multi-trillion dollar company, right?
Yes.
That- right. Means we have trillion dollar companies, but multi-trillion. So, for example, right now, Elon is trying to definitely do his thing with all his innovations and all.
Hmm.
But if you see the state of AI just 2 years back and see where we are, right? So
Yeah.
there is no doubt in my mind that it will go so fast. So we were talking about content in the beginning. The content has like revolutionized in last 1 or 2 years, right? That something that will take for you to write 2 hours, 3 hours. Now AI is writing it in 2 minutes. You are editing it in let's say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Hmm.
And so typically you are now 4 times more efficient.
Yeah.
So you are spending less in people, but overall you are spending more because you are generating more content. If you are looking to grow faster, it will
Yeah.
definitely help you in growing faster also.
Yeah.
Also, the type of content will also evolve because I think the time era of text is over.
Hmm. Yes.
Yes, the text is over now. We used to read books, now we listen books. We used to listen to conversations, now we watch conversations. We used to watch sports, now we ourselves play
Experience.
sports with VR and
Yes.
AR, right? So everything has gone up one notch.